Well, I never really knew what I wanted to do with my life. I mean, I just didn't really have a plan. I knew I didn't want to go to college. I mean, that's just not the type of person I am. So me and Dad sat down and thought about it one night, and he's like, "Hey, how about you come help me out on the farm?" I was like, "Well, I guess." I mean, it wasn't really much planning behind it. It was kind of go up there and get your residency and move in. I mean, now that was a year ago in January, and I mean, it's kind of been taken off like crazy from there. Just things that I've been doing and still have yet to do that I couldn't ever imagine. Help from a bunch of different people that I know, that the stays and everything, they do a lot for us here. And I mean, you know, we just never really knew the potential of the farm for the deer hunting aspect. I mean, whenever Dad bought this place in 2020, it just wasn't even a thought across his mind, you know? I mean, it was, this is my retirement, this is where I'm gonna spend the rest of my life. I'm gonna sit here, be an old grumpy farmer for the rest of my life. And now we kind of got him roped into things that he never really wanted to do. But with Dad leaving and going on deployment and everything, it's been a big step up for me and my uncle, what we've had to do with everything around here for the upkeep and the getting all the crops and everything. But I mean, it's just been crazy.
So initially, about 3 years ago, me and Brock were peeling through the farm, picking up sheds left and right. And we ended up finding Clyde's shed, which was the deer that I ended up killing this past season. You know, fast forward 3 years, this plot's finally getting to the point where we need it. We brought a D6 dozer in here, cleared the top off, put a box in, we got a gap, green to grain transition. It's absolutely perfect. We frost seeded some clover in this. It's all coming through now. Hit it with a little bit of Select Max and should pull through pretty good. But so this spot specifically is kind of in a deer's home core we call Big Mac. We have plenty of video and velvet pictures of him summering here. That's why we're giving him a big green spot. We're gonna bring a big corn feeder in here. We're feeding a bunch of Analogics feed, a bunch of, right now we're on the summer mix, but for the most part, he spends about every day on the farm. So we had pictures of him last night up there on top of the field. He's already got a split brow, and then this shed season, when I was hunting him, he had dropped his antlers, you know, at the end of January, and we came in with a group of friends. My buddy Braden Price and me found his sheds. Like the first set of sheds we found, it almost seemed staged how crazy it was. And this will be one of the main target deer for this year. So hopefully he does what he's done in the past, pounding the gaps, hitting the green, hitting the corn feeder when it's here. Should get lit up out of that blind right there. So Brock's back there messing up some trees and getting some road systems done. We got all these gaps that funnel this field, so everything just comes together so perfectly. It should be a killer spot, so we'll see.
I didn't think you guys had that much change to be able to wrap it up. Like, I could just flip it right onto the bucket.
He said that, I was like...
Well, this farm has a unique vibe to it. It's very vast. It's got about, 500 acres of CRP, and you know, one plus to that is those deer will actually live in that stuff. It's a lot of thermal cover. Now, a lot of it has a lot of contour to it, so there's south-facing pockets that are warmer to the sun. Those deer like to call home. The deer that I had shot was bedded on a south-facing slope on the thermal cover, so the goal on this farm is to enhance that. So we burned about 300 acres this year, which was a massive undergoing. I mean, it was crazy long nights, 10 o'clock at night, we're still out here burning, fire department showing up, wondering what's going on. We were in a fire ban, I mean, it's crazy, but the goal is to get this place to look like Kansas. You know, Kansas has got that 5 foot, 6 foot tall, just grasses all through it, beautiful switch and natives and stuff. So eventually this farm hopefully will be to that standard. So let's keep working. Brock's ripping away over there on the Vale. He just loves it, man. He just loves being out here working on the farm. You know, it's not even about killing the deer for him. It's about growing them and passing them and the story behind it. Like, he ultimately doesn't even care to shoot the deer. He just likes to grow them and know that they're here and, you know, see them mature year after year and do different things. And it's rare for somebody to not be selfish when it comes to big deer, and he's the most unselfish person I've met in my life. And he allowed me to come out last year and shoot a stud of a deer, and he spends all this money and his own time out here messing around. He farms all this ground. He farms up north with his uncle and on his family farms. He's 20 years old. His dad's gone on deployment, and you know, this is what he loves to do. He loves being on the farm. He loves making things better. He loves taking care of his native grasses and, you know, growing crops and farming. I mean, he ultimately just loves being outdoors, but this farm's his baby, and it's a pretty special place.
Dude, holy, dude, Jesse. Oh! Dude, that is a giant. Finding his sheds, building the farm. Like, look at the characteristics. This is crazy, dude. Thank you so much. Get down here, dude. This is the deer that we have just stressed and stressed and stressed and stressed about. And I finally get to lay my hands on him after a crazy hunt, crazy season.
Well, Stay Grounded kind of started like on a whim. It was just kind of like this random idea I had where it was like, hey, what if we just like brought a camera along with us for the journey? I was like, but instead of it being self-centered and self-focused on just a particular person, it was kind of like, how do we make this about the group and the group's success and how everything keeps us together as far as the ground goes? And, you know, everybody shows up whenever we're doing a farm, and you know, everybody's focused and goal-minded to the same thing as far as setting the farms up and stuff. So I think that kind of relays into hunting too, because you know, everybody kind of brings each other along on their journeys as far as like cameras go, pictures of our big deer,
group text
and tactics.
Checking in with each other every 30 minutes on the phone, just seeing whatever. There's group texts that are 15 people deep there's some nights that all 15 people are in the woods, so you're able to bounce off of, like, maybe you're not having such a good hunt, but you're able to get the thrill out of somebody else having a good encounter or even a kill.
Right, and it kind of, and it already shows because, you know, like my Missouri deer this past year, you know, there was probably, what, 20 people that showed up. You know, the deer was a local legend, you know, and everybody knew about him originally. And finally me getting to put my hands on him, you know, everybody wanted to be along for the journey. And I think ultimately that's what Stay Grounded's all about is, you know, it keeps us all grounded together. You know, everybody comes together to chase big deer and, you know,
live the lifestyle.
Live the lifestyle, yeah. Build the farms and, you know, do everything together.
Let's go. Well, that didn't necessarily work the way that we wanted it to,
On the ground, you can't tell where it's going. You nearly drown.
Wasn't bad.
Ups and downs. I was afraid of what I couldn't be for you. You'd see the cracks, the floor would fall right through.
So we're planned right now, and Bobby and Dad just pulled up, and they originally designed this place. Oh yeah, this is Bobby.
I wish my heart could finally fall on solid ground.
I would say the start of my hunting career was
June 13th, 2003. That's my birthday. That was my first day of life. Just kind of took off from there. I got my first bow, and I just was able to convince my dad, who didn't need much convincing, to pull me out of school early for the evenings to hunt. And so once I got my driver's license, it was no holding me back. I was hunting every chance I got. I was taking care of my own farms. Like it was probably a fire that was lit brighter than most that people ever get to experience. It was something that I physically couldn't contain. I could not do. And up until this point, I mean, it's taken me all the way. I've been a part of, outdoor TV shows. I've started my own land management company that was extremely successful, especially for an 18, 19-year-old kid.
Well, me and Tanner and Jesse have all grown up together, like literally from day one. I mean, you really can't get more day one between us three. We've all had just great hunting experiences together, just absolutely amazing time together.
So Tanner brought me on with the land management side of things here, and I pretty much just do whatever he wants me to do at this point. Just real excited to see what's in store for Stay Grounded and the whole group as a whole.
So the story between me and Tanner is actually pretty funny. We met over a specific deer in Missouri, and I was hunting him, and he ended up finding out about this deer. So we were clashing heads a little bit. After that, our relationship just spiraled. And from Tanner, I met Jesse and Lucy and Cooper and just the whole group, and it's been just amazing. I love these guys. We're all on the same page, and between our faith and our friendship and just the love for the outdoors, we're a really, really good fit together.
Me and my brother growing up, we grew up in an outfitter at an early age, and we've had a lot of old mentors, with our whitetail minds, and Toby Stay, my dad, and Bobby Kendall being some of the main mentors for us and our habitat work. Obviously we've learned from Bobby growing up. He's kind of been like a second father figure for me, and now we get to implement his ideas and his plans into our personal work and see the strategies that him and the whitetail group really implement on their farms and how well they work. We've grown up hunting together our whole life. It's kind of like we tackled a little bit of YouTube a long time ago, starting to film our hunts, so we have a bunch of old footage of us together. And ultimately, some of our best memories together have kind of been, obviously in the whitetail woods. We've killed a lot of deer together, and it's been something special we've got to share together our whole life. And over the years, we've kind of built a little group of friends, and it's kind of grown here and there as we get more farms and more things to do. And everybody's compassionate about hunting and each other. We're all very humble souls, and we all have the shared passion to go out and work on these farms every day and know that we're doing something better for the world and for ourselves. And now I feel like we're the next generation of up and coming hunters who have learned from these guys that are obviously getting older and have learned so much and gone out and done so much and are so successful. And now we get to implement the new generation, setting up farms and making deer do what you want them to do. So we kind of could really put this out here and have an impact on the youth, that you can get out there, you can do it yourself, you can there's nothing holding you back from being able to do what we do. It's just, ultimately getting out there and working on farms and physically doing it.
Ready for this?
Sell it. What are we ready for?
Are you recording?
Yeah.
This is my job. Get that done. Pour that seed, boys. Come on.
Yes, brother.
Here, hold this.
You gotta mix it together. Cooper, get your hand in there. Blend that.
Start stirring.
And you got like extra.
All right, Tanner, you're good. Tanner, go to the other seed box.
There we go. We need some more alfalfa.
He had that stuff.
Cowabunga. Oh god.
First half of the field is going to be all alfalfa. Just put it on top of it.
Cowabunga.
You realize we need all of them, right?
Yeah.
Like 100 pounds of beef.
Perfect.
We're planting 30 pounds of it each acre.
Sounds about right.
On 1.4 acres.
I think the math's adding up.
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Math and less.